So in this video, I am going to illustrate Radius server connectivity with VYOS. What I have done is I have installed Ubuntu, and on Ubuntu I installed FreeRADIUS software. You can get the software from this website, and it's very straightforward except for a few catches that you gotta look for, and the website kind of misleads you on that. So once you have the software installed by the command apt get install FreeRADIUS, you run this command and it'll install it, and it shows you how to do that right here on this website. CentOS will use this command, and Ubuntu will use this. Once you have done that, it asks you to test it. And this command is not correct. So you basically have to, instead of radius X, you have to do FreeRADIUS X. So you do FreeRADIUS X, and it tells you the version and everything. If you just run the radius command as shown in the documentation, it basically tells you that this command is not acceptable or is not recognized. So this is radius, even if you do radius D, command not found. So you have to do the FreeRADIUS thing. Let's see if the D works. Doesn't. So you have to literally do FreeRADIUS-X instead of radius D. So this command works instead of this command. So that's one problem right here. But once you install it, you go to the basic configuration and you have to define the client, like the VYOS itself, and as a client, and then the username, password, and all that. So this is done on this directory, on this file. Tells you the file in this directory. So let's take a look at that. More etc radDB, which is replaced by FreeRADIUS. So again, this is going to be replaced by FreeRADIUS. Clients conf sudo, and obviously the directory doesn't exist, so FreeRADIUS. This is not correct here, so the actual path is this 3.0, and then you go to the file name, which is client.conf, and it'll give you the client file. So here I've added the VYOS IP address, my IP address. You got to specify the client IP address just like in the website, and the secret, and the secret here is testing 1, 2, 3. And obviously you need to be able to ping your VYOS router, which is on 3003. So ping. Good. I'm able to do that because I'm sitting on 300,100. So my IP connectivity to VYOS is good. My client is configured with the secret. Now define the username password in the user's file. So the user's file is this one, and I have put in a user called A with a clear text password A. And for you to get into privilege mode, you got to specify this. Service type, NAS prompt user, comma, and obviously you got to do the tab. Cisco AV pair equals to shell colon PRIV dash LVL equals to 15. So you got to specify this complete line, all of this, in this file, users file. All right. So once you do that, you start the server again. You start it by FreeRADIUS DX. The way I started it is by system control status or start FreeRADIUS. And let's check the status first. I already started it, so it started active and it's running. But to start it, you're going to just use the word start here. And to restart, you're going to start. Each time you make a change in the files, you do restart. So you restart like this. Okay. So once you have completed the file changes, you can define the users, and it says that do a rad test. So let's do the rad test. This command is correct. You don't have to add free to it. Rad test A, password is A127, localhost is 127.0.0.1.0, and the key is testing 1, 2, 3. And you should get this receive accept. That means your user and your Radius server, your username and password is working, and your Radius service is authenticating locally. Now let's get this authenticated with the VYOS. So VYOS 1.3 is what is required for Radius setting, and I've configured that right here. So I've got this Radius server, and I'm going to log in with the username A and A, and it will let me in. So if you look at this guy, I'm going to pause this guy, but let's not pause that for a second. Show configured show system login, and here how it's configured. You set the Radius server to 300.100, which is this guy, and the key is testing 1, 2, 3, and this is the local user. So I am, see, the users that exist locally on the VYOS is only VYOS, but I'm using A as a user. So VYOS is local, and A is through Radius. Now what I want to show to you is this, that if I create this sudo nano to edit. So I've got this user called A with a clear pass, A, service type this, and Cisco privilege 15. Now let's create a user called B. B with a B password, and I'm going to remove or put it in comments these two lines. Let's see what happens with B. incorrect username, login incorrect, because I did not do this. So now I logged in with B, but see how B is only allowed on a prompt. I cannot do any configuration here. So I can do, if I do the commands, I can only see, so it's not a privileged login. I can only show interface, show IP route, and other commands that are available for non-privileged access. So if I want a user to be privileged, I'm going to go back to my Radius server, and I'm going to remove this so that it becomes a privileged. And I'm going to restart my service. There you go. Now I can configure. Show system login. I only have VYOS here. A and B are coming through Radius server. So it gives you all the commands and all that good stuff, and also tells you that if you want the admin users to authenticate via Radius, you gotta give this attribute out through the Radius server. And through the Radius server, you do it like this. You gotta put in both the lines. So this is how you configure a FreeRADIUS server with VYOS. I'm sure you can use it with others. I have not tested with Arista or Cisco yet, but I will do that as we get some time. Hope this helps.